Hello and welcome to another episode of Bronze Dad Basic Support Guide. I am Bronze Dad. I am Bronze. I am a dad. I have kids that play League of Legends, and I am going to stream a Janna game today for you. So let me get out of this and let me get into the game. So this is a ranked game. I started in Bronze 5, and I've been as high as like I said in one of the other streams, Bronze 2 for my promos to Bronze 1. I attribute that a lot to the fact that I don't play as much as my kids do. They're both silver players, so good average. And I have a couple brothers that play as well, and they all play a lot more than I do. And so they're a lot better than me, and they climb a little faster, and that's what having a job does. So this game, you can see here, I played Star Guardian Janna. I played Janna because we had Jinx as a hyper carry, and she's really good right now in 8.3. And we had Garen as a tank and Maokai as a tank, and then Swain's our mid laner. And looking at their team comp, they had Nasus and Aurelion Sol. I was a little worried about Xin Zhao and Tristana, so I wanted to protect my carry, so I went Janna, and she's really good for that. So you can see they have a Frostfire Annie, they have an Annie support, and she was all support in this game, as you'll probably see. I did talk about how I'm a little better getting wards out the other day with Janna than I was with Zyra. Different play styles, different champions. They're my two favorite champions though overall. So hopefully we'll get into this game here soon. A lot of times you see Aurelion Sols in bronze that aren't that great, but it just seems like if you see a Tristana or a Xin Zhao or some kind of a jungler that has really good engage, they are generally pretty good. Now I'm going to put this on myself so we can see me. And with Janna, I like to go coin, 3 pots, and I did take the Guardian rune because I like being able to shield in lane, especially with a lot of poke. Knowing I was against AP Annie and a Tristana, I figured Jinx was going to get poked down a little bit. So I like to hedge my bets a little bit and get as much protection as I can. So where Jinx went bottom, I decided that this was the bush I wanted to set up in, especially with Maokai going to the river brush closer to mid lane. I wanted to hang out there just to make sure we didn't get cheesed. Sometimes your AD carry will run down to bot lane and then walk back up right through this brush where I'm standing at, and the enemy team's standing there and they get first blood and 2 assists on it, and then you're behind just to start with. So that's kind of why I did that. Anyway, protecting this area here, I'm watching the timer, and here in a second I'm going to head off and go towards the buff because it's going to come up. I take shield on Janna because I like to play her utility. It's kind of nice because I can shield early like that, and sometimes I can get a second shield off. It keeps our jungler healthy and keeps him going. Gave him my shield some there. Now Jinx went down around the other way, so I was real hesitant to walk up to this brush without checking it, but she was almost to lane and hadn't seen anybody, so I kind of face checked there. Sometimes I'll drop a ward just to make sure, but we hadn't seen him, so I didn't figure. Now you'll see the little gold thing underneath me, that's my shield wanting to kick in. I know there's an Annie somewhere there, so I'm going to throw a ward down and take away that advantage. And you'll just see that every once in a while I just walk up and poke if I can. I got a little aggressive there. Janna has pretty good poke early level, and I had my shield there, shielded both of us with my Guardian, so that was a free way of doing that. And I'm just going to pick up some gold here, and as you can see I'm trying to prep that wave for Jinx so we can get to level 2 earlier and level 3 earlier now that we're level 2. I was behind because I came to lane a little late. You'll see that Annie just keeps fading in and out of that brush, and we can definitely see her. so I took away that advantage. And she walks up, we're just going to hit her. You know, that's why you don't get too aggressive, and the bush is, it's important to have and we had a heal shield out of our Jinx. I want to make sure we're not going to get ganked, but I didn't know that Xin Zhao, he walked right by us right before that fight. Had he shown up, that would have been kind of an ugly thing for us, but right now we have 2 kills and first blood, and Jinx is pushing into turret. That's what you want to do. You want to push into turret and you want to back. That way they lose CS and you can go be items up on them. I want my coin there. So you see there, it looks like Tristana's picked up Stopwatch and Annie's picked up a Fairy Charm, but we have a BF sword, so that means we can fight. So I'm going to upgrade my gold item, get some boots. We're doing pretty well, so I figure I want to be moving around the map, and I'm going to pick up a control ward, I believe, here. Fairy Charms. Okay, I couldn't remember. So yeah, control ward, Fairy Charms. Keep my mana up, keep doing what I'm doing, take care of stuff. So you can see, looking there on the screen, you can see BF sword to Doran's blade. Huge advantage. So we're going to just keep snowballing because they don't really have much. The CS is pretty even, so we're not way ahead, but we're ahead enough that we have a pretty good advantage, and they're pushing a wave into us because we did that just about perfectly. So I'm just kind of hanging out. I don't want to sit still, and I'm just going to poke and try to push Tristana off of the minions a little bit if I get a chance to. I know Annie's probably hanging out somewhere in that bush, so I'm just kind of hanging out here just in case I need to. Getting off some more poke so that we miss some more minions. Hopefully getting ahead. Right now we're about 6 ahead, but I can shield myself and stay close to the action, and I don't take a whole lot of damage from that. Now this Annie in lane, she goes a little gung-ho. Her positioning is really off there. She's really far forward, but she has kind of shorter range, so you know, she's kind of has to go forward to do that. But you know, I can see Tristana's low, and it might be tempting to go at her, but that's a death trap with that minion wave coming down. You don't want to walk into a minion wave. What I do though is protect myself with a ward. You can see we're 6 minutes in and I've already put down just a couple wards. And I thought she was going to come at me, so I just kind of zone her away from the minions and let the turret kill a few of them. And we'll just wait to see what happens here. So I'll heal up with a potion, and looks like we're going to go back. Let's see what we pick up this time. Oh, nice. So she's got her boots, and I've got Forbidden Idol, which gives me cooldown and plus to my heals and mana regen. So we are really looking far ahead of them. 42 to 34. That last push was really good for our mana, and as you can see, we're all level 5 now. So it gets really exciting here in a few minutes. I get Jinx a little bit ahead, and then we go, because we're only up about 1,000 gold. But you see how far up that Annie keeps coming. It was just kind of a surprise to both of us that she just walked up right into us and did that, so I'm not real worried. So I'm just going to hover close to my 80 carry and wait till I see a moment that I can do something helpful. We got some pings that enemies are missing, some different things going on the map. We're pushed in, so Xin Zhao took out the dragon, but he also was killed, so that's kind of a hard play for him. That's his first back, I think. So with him dead, we're getting some pings to. We'll have a little bit of help. We have both those bushes warded because we know Annie's up to. And here I kind of play bait, and we end up just rocking these two on this. I can't believe the Triss jumped on the Jinx, but you know, that was pretty worth. If I leave and run away, then what ends up happening is my AD carry dies. So sometimes as support you have to stick around in fights, and other times you have to leave, and it just kind of depends when. But as you can see, Jinx is way up. Got 4 kills. She's starting to steamroll. I have my warding item. I'm building towards, I think it's Redemption that I'm getting. So Annie is building Needlessly Large Rod. Hasn't updated her Spell Thieves yet, so the wards there are not going to be big, but I'll start throwing down wards pretty well here, you'll notice. So we have a Xin Zhao that's hanging out on our ward, so I just start a little bit of a ward battle here. I thought there might be a ward there to destroy where he just was in the bush, but we don't want him to get vision. Now watch the positioning on this Annie. She just keeps walking up by herself, away from her minions and everything. Now we can see the Xin Zhao, but we can't do much about it because they're pushing in. So I just throw a ward over the wall here because I don't want to get caught unawares if they will go around to dive us. Now normally I back, but I think I stuck around here because I could see they were pushing a wave in, and I can see he's on a ward, so I know I'm in a little bit of trouble where I'm sitting, but I have my ulti, and I'm just gonna cause him a little bit of grief. Ping's coming in, people are on their way. See, Swain was coming there on the minimap. That's something that a lot of bronze players don't do. They don't look at the minimap, and you can see there's a big fight going to happen here. And I just pushed those two back because I could see we had a 3v2, but now it's a 4v4. And my health is pretty full, so I go right at him. And since Dragon's gone, I'm going to sweep that and try to get some vision. Make sure they're choked out, and then we go right into the wave here and do some damage to the turret. Now when I put the shield on her there, as she's hitting the turret, she'll do a lot more damage. I think at level 9 it's like having an extra BF sword, so that just helps take turrets really fast with Janna. If you do it right, you can really steamroll the lane. A lot of times with Janna you won't win the lane. It's kind of a problem because if you think of the win lane win game and you get so wrapped up in that you just kind of forfeit, type in FF and stuff, it's not a good thing. I've lost a lot of lanes and come back to win a lot of games because she scales so hard late game. But let's see where we're at item wise. I have my redemption completed. Tristana's just barely getting her BF sword, and Jinx has Infinity Edge and her Berserker's Greaves, so we're doing pretty well. If you look at the rest of the map, everybody on the team has a kill but me, which is okay. If I get a kill with Janna, it's kind of a cool thing. It doesn't happen that often. And you know, their Nasus is doing alright. Garen's keeping him busy. We're struggling a little bit with this Xin Zhao, but he has 2 deaths, so 3 deaths. And then, you know, Swain and Aurelion Sol are fairly even, except Swain has a kill, so he's finished his Rout of Ages. So we're seeing some guys that are going to hurt. Now, since he's dead, I'm coming up here to hang out. Jinx is pushing bottom, so it's not a big deal for me to be there with her the whole time. She should probably drop a ward in their jungle just so she doesn't get surrounded, or in the river, but I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit. I can see Maokai's coming in. You know, that's easy to dodge that. It's pretty telegraphed. So mid lane's kind of our focus now, and Jinx has some wards up, and she knows to back off because they're coming in at her, and that's some good play. Now the one problem I think is she forgets here that Annie is AP, and I see Jinx here, so we're going to come around this way, and you can knock him out of his ult if you can knock him out of his ult if you hit him. So Janna's so fast, I figured he'd try to get out of there, and just wanted to cut him off. But there's a lot going on here, and we're moving in to take this. Annie, I believe, kills Jinx, and that's her first kill. Annie actually does pretty well. Oh, not first kill, third kill. Must have been some stuff that I missed there. Oh yeah, she killed me once, and I think maybe Swain. So dragon's up, clearing wards. I love clearing wards, but I can see there's a fight going on. He had it, so we're going to rush down bottom so they don't get that turret. And the fun is going to start. See, Janna can make people move faster just by being there. So all I'm doing is pulling these guys with me because my passive on my W is for that. But Maokai is pretty tanky. He doesn't need to take all those turret shots though. And you notice Aurelion Sol is caught out here. He's pretty far forward, nowhere to go because he's between us and Jinx. Mini-map awareness, my friends, mini-map awareness. So, not a bad champion if you know how to play him, but the decision-making there, he was a little far forward with not a lot of ward coverage. If you're moving up, you want a ward in front of you. And as you can see, you know, Xin Zhao's on a ward right now. I can see that. I can see he's there. We're pinging it. But he's working on blue, so we just keep staying on dragon. So I'm kind of watching him to see my mini-map where he's going to come from. Dropping some shields so we don't just get taken unawares, and I can see him coming, so here I go to just push him off. Both Swain and I were trying to zone him there so he couldn't smite, and I'm going to clear wards. As I go, another fight's going to break out, so I get there pretty quick. And I was really trying to shield the Jinx there, but sometimes when they get close together, it's easy to click on the wrong player. So I think Swain's in trouble because it took him so long. Look at the items. Getting another fairy charm. I think I'm going to build myself an ardent censer. Annie has a Rabadon's death cap, which I think if you're playing AP support, you want to do like Leandri's and Void Staff. Rabs is kind of a noob trap. It does a lot of damage and has a lot of AP, but it costs so darn much that I think it's almost better to go for those other two items. You can see Aurelion Sol has the Leandri's, but that's just my personal preference. Anyway, Jinx is a little more careful of Annie now. You know, I have 10 assists, 17 minutes into the game. It's pretty good stat there. Jinx has 9 kills, and the only one who's really getting big on their team is Annie. So, kind of roaming around, looking to help on fights, and I see Garen's getting double teamed up here, and we have a lot of fun we can do. Just trying to keep people up. We got a redemption here, and I die because they don't like Janna, but we end up 3-0ing them, or 3-1ing them. Sometimes as support, like I said, you just have to die to help the team. So, Annie just killed Jinx again bottom, and she's, like I said, she's getting big. Aurelion Soul likes that stun, but if I can ult him, it keeps it from landing, and it's kind of nice. But we want to push this up and do some things here. See where we're at with items. I just used the redemption to keep the Garen up, and I just barely missed staying alive myself. So they took out our middle turret, which was kind of rough for us, but sometimes that just happens. But we're going to get an objective here that's going to help us. The other thing to see, Nasus and Garen are pretty even. Our junglers are pretty even on CS. The difference really is the kills, and that's pretty awesome, the kill difference there. Jinx is way far ahead of the Tristana though, and that's just playing through bot lane. It's going to make a huge difference. Now there's a fight going on up top, so I don't look at the map as much as I should. I know there's pros that look at it most of the time. You know, they'll look at it every couple seconds, but you know, I'm here just to support these guys and keep them up. We knew Garen was kind of done. He just kind of got caught up there in their whole team. You know, they're leaving Jinx alone to farm bottom, so that's always a fun thing to do with your tornado. You just drop it, and I'm trying to clear out some stuff as I go. It's hard to catch me. We're retreating backwards. I love it when we double ward like that. Sometimes I should probably wait just a second longer. And Swain's starting to come online a little bit. As you notice, I'm kind of staying near the back of these fights if I can, making them dive me. If they have to go through the whole team, we'll get kills. But I like to stay near the back. That way I'm not getting bad positioning, like that Annie was earlier. See, they have to go through my whole team to try to kill me. And Annie's pretty much their biggest threat on their team right now. We get a good push with this Herald. He's half dead, but so is that second turret now, or third turret in the lane. Now, a lot of my cooldowns are down, but I have my shields, and they work pretty well. 1 hit point left on Shelly. That's awesome. That's pretty classy right there. So Shelly's not going to make it too far. Garen wanted a tank just to let Shelly hit the turret once. So right now I'm trying to, you know, get us out of there, but the team keeps going in, and I'm pinging back a little bit. And Jinx and Garen just start going ham here. It's like I guess they're gonna be up, but we end up dying here. See, we just need to leave, and we're not leaving. Let's see, we lost. But Redemption's back up, I guess, so we had a lot of fight going on. That was an overstay, and that was not an understatement. Thing is we're up about 10k gold, and so it's really tempting to do that. I was making some bad decisions there as well, but you know, you need to ping your team back and get out of there. So we'll start dropping some wards here and try to get this Baron ready to go. I like to drop a ward or clear bush before I back, just so I'm not backing on a ward because it sucks when you die when you're sitting on a ward and you're like backing and they just come up on you out of nowhere and just kill you. So you wanna make sure you back in a safe place. Don't back where they can see you. That's just puts a big red target on you. So I think we're heading in towards Dragon. They have a big wave coming bottom, um, and I think I'm probably typing to Jinx that they have it and we're gonna come bot. So notice how I'm not killing any of the minions. I'm just gonna pick up the gold. Checking them to see where they're at. Make sure they're not coming in on us. And we're just gonna push in. Now if you notice the way the teams are working, our team is pretty grouped together, or pretty close. They are split. They have Tristana and Nasus top because they're trying to push while they don't know where we're at. We're all in the jungle, so they have no clue where we're at. Aurelion Sol is too far forward again, and if you look, there's a fed Jinx on the map. You're gonna die. So I just kill wards and put wards down. There's certain places where there's always going to be a ward. Bushes keeps you from getting flanked. I knew they weren't bottom, but you know this is going to be game here, I think. But just kind of watch how I ward in this game. It's like a 25-minute long game, and right now they're pinging their team saying, "Hey, what are you doing, bot?" And we're just going to win. So anyway. That was the game, 32-9, and I was 0-2 and 23, which is pretty darn good. I think picking Janna with a hyper carry like a Jinx is a good idea because it keeps her alive so she can do what she does best. So let me show you the wards that I was going to talk about here. So we go into the overview of the game, maybe, and stats. So Janna doesn't really do a lot of damage, so I never look at that. Crowd control score, obviously, Garen did really well, which surprised me. But I thought Maokai was going to do pretty well. You know, we had our first blood. My damage is really low, but you don't look at damage when you're Janna because you're buffing your ADC to do more damage. So as I come down here to the vision score, I had a 66. And in a 24-minute game, I had 45 wards as opposed to like the other day when I had like 20. So I destroyed 4 and I bought 7 control wards. Now if you look across here at the Annie, she had 7 wards placed. As support, that is a huge advantage. Xin Zhao put down 14, which you know is respectable for a jungler. But I had Ingenious Hunter as one of my secondary runes, and zombie wards. So anytime I killed a ward, I was able to have a zombie ward replace it, which buffs that number a lot. And then Ingenious is really good when you have like Redemption, because what happens is it reduces your cooldown for every unique kill you get up to 5. So once you've had an assist on all these different guys as Janna, you have the maximum cooldown that the rune will give you. So anyway. I wanted to show self-mitigated damage, 6,000. So I wasn't really doing a lot for myself, but damage healed, 4,900. That's not bad when you look at Maokai. You know, he has a lot of heal. Swain has a lot of heal on himself, and you know, she had some lifesteal, he had some lifesteal, and the other team did not have a lot of heal. So you can see that Janna brings some real advantages. There's some healing. There's some extra damage that you can buff your ADC with. There's a lot of cool things. Janna's not totally intuitive. A lot of people look at her and say, I don't like Janna because she doesn't do anything, but she does a lot of stuff. She shields. She can shield and buff that ADC. She can shield turrets if it's going down and just make it take a little bit longer. She speeds up the team. You saw a couple of times we were running down people, Tristana, and you know, we were able to run and they were able to keep up with me because of my W passive. Otherwise, we wouldn't have caught her. She's really hard to run down. But Janna does a lot. I think she's the most buffed or most nerfed champion in League of Legends. ever, and she still gets nerfed, and she's still just good, like almost into anything. There's a few things where it's a farm off like a Sona or a Soraka that's hard to play, but Janna, she typically does pretty well into about anything because she helps to keep that ADC alive. I did have 2 deaths in that game, which you might argue that I could have stayed alive either one of those times, but I did what I thought in the moment was the best thing for the team, and we steamrolled the Jinx and we won. So anyway, that's my video on Janna support, and hopefully we'll get up some more videos soon. And until then, leave a like, subscribe if you like. I know it's not as exciting as watching like Faker stream or some of these other hypey guys, but if you're just wanting to watch a casual game bronze support, to learn a few things, and I'm learning along as I play. Watching these videos actually helps a lot. I'm noticing a lot of mistakes that I make that I can do better on, and it's improved my play. So anyway, you guys have a good day, and we'll see you on the other video. Once again, like and subscribe, and thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for staying. Bye.